Imagine growing up with an unshakable feeling that there's more to life than what we can see, hear, or touch. A calling so deep that it shapes the course of your entire life. Autobiography of a Yogi tells the story of such a life, a journey of faith, self-realization, and spiritual discovery. It's the life of a boy born in India, Mukunda Lal Ghosh, who later became known as Paramhansa Yogananda. Through his life story, Yogananda brings the ancient practices of yoga and meditation to the modern world, showing that inner transformation is possible for anyone willing to take the journey. Paramhansa Yogananda, the author of Autobiography of a Yogi, profoundly influenced many successful and prominent figures across the Western world and beyond through his teachings on yoga, meditation, and self-realization. His mission to bridge Eastern spirituality and Western pragmatism began in 1920 when he traveled to America, where his teachings resonated with a society in search of inner peace and purpose following the aftermath of World War I. Yogananda's influence reached deeply into the scientific and intellectual communities, where he formed relationships with notable figures such as Luther Burbank, the American botanist, and Indian scientist Jagadish Chandra Bose, both of whom were inspired by his integration of spirituality with scientific inquiry. His teachings also found a home among prominent artists, musicians, and business leaders, including Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore and opera singer Amelita Gali Kursi. In the world of business and innovation, Yogananda had a profound impact on Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple, who reportedly read Autobiography of a Yogi yearly and incorporated its principles into his leadership and visionary mindset. George Harrison of the Beatles was another significant figure who embraced Yogananda's teachings, finding spiritual depth in meditation and Kriya Yoga, which influenced his music and outlook on life. Harrison's journey, along with Yogananda's teachings, helped introduce Eastern spirituality to Western popular culture, merging these two worlds and expanding the influence of yoga and meditation in creative and artistic expression. Yogananda's lessons, emphasizing the oneness of all life, the mind's power, and the pursuit of inner peace, transcended traditional boundaries of religion, culture, and nationality. His founding of the Self-Realization Fellowship in Los Angeles in 1920 further extended his influence, establishing a global network of spiritual centers that continue to teach Kriya Yoga and meditation to millions of followers worldwide. Through these teachings, Yogananda's message of inner transformation and self-realization continues to inspire individuals to seek deeper meaning and higher consciousness, encouraging people to live in harmony with themselves, others, and the divine. His influence is enduring, shaping not just personal lives but also modern spirituality and culture across the globe. Part 1. Family and History of Yogananda. Paramhansa Yogananda was born as Mukunda Lal Ghosh in Gorakhpur, India, into a Bengali Hindu family. Yogananda was born in 1893. His father was a scholar who had memorized many sacred texts, including the Bhagavad Gita. He explains that Indian culture values guru-disciple relationships more than anything because they are based on wisdom and spirituality. Yogananda's family is steeped in this tradition, as he has an enlightened soul from a past life that can manifest itself in various ways throughout his childhood. For example, when he was just 2 years old, he saw himself as an adult yogi meditating on Mount Kailash in Tibet for a past life. Then, at age 4 or 5, Yogananda discusses past lives with people around him. He says things like, "I used to be so-and-so." Naturally, this causes some consternation for those around him. Yogananda's father is high up on the Bengal-Nagpur Railway. His mother is loving and kind, teaching her children only through love. Both his parents have a deep connection with their guru, Lahiri Mahasaya. As Yogananda grows up, he continues to have spiritual encounters. He seeks out saints and sages in his community for guidance. At 11, he had a vision in which his mother tells him she will die. Not long after, she does, and he feels compelled to pilgrimage into the Himalayas. His brother convinces him not to go, but continues seeking a guru who can guide him better. When Yogananda was 17, he met his guru. His name was Sri Yukteswar Giri, and he had several visions of him before they met. The two men shared unconditional love for each other from the moment they saw each other in a Benares market. Sri Yukteswar taught Yogananda many lessons that were difficult to learn, but beneficial in the long run. Although it was sometimes hard to take what Sri Yukteswar said or did, Yogananda embraced those moments because of their strong connection with one another as teachers and students in past incarnations. Sri Yukteswar taught Yogananda the principles of Kriya Yoga, a yogic practice that helps people attain enlightenment. Kriya Yoga focuses on meditation to use one's breath to achieve unity between mind, body, and spirit. Yogananda devoted himself to mastering this practice and studying with his guru. At the same time, Yogananda was efficient and wanted to focus on his studies. However, Sri Yukteswar reminded him that he needs to live in the material world and enjoy its lessons, perspectives, and opportunities for enlightenment. So, in 1915, after receiving a degree from Serampore College, Yogananda took formal monastic vows into Sri Yukteswar's order and officially became as Swami Yogananda Giri. Yogananda then shared his spiritual knowledge with the world. In 1917, he opened a school in West Bengal where students learnt yoga and traditional Indian spirituality. He came to America for the first time in 1920, and Americans embraced his teachings. That same year, he founded Self-Realization Fellowship in Los Angeles to help spread these ideas even more widely. Yogananda lived in America for the rest of his life, except for a brief visit to India. During that time, he met Gandhiji and introduced him to Kriya Yoga. Yogananda's life and teachings are so universal that he met several famous people in his lifetime. Part 2. Meeting with Kindred Spirits. Sages encountered include the Perfume Saint, who could materialize sense at will, the Tiger Swami, who had wrestled and defeated tigers, and the Levitating Saint, Baduri Mahasaya, who had given up great family riches to become a yogi. The author also met Shankari Mai Jiu, the yogini of great age, and Nirmala Devi, the beautiful joy-permeated mother, who spent much of her time in the state of samadhi. Yogananda journeyed into the heart of Bengal to find Giri Bala, a non-eating saint who had used a specific yoga technique that had allowed her to exist without food for decades, with no ill effects, and proven by close observation. Yogananda was in close friendships with scientists Jagadish Chandra Bose, Rabindranath Tagore, Luther Burbank, and Sri Ramana Maharshi. Part 3. Reincarnation. The guru is referring to the concept of reincarnation. He does not use the term yet, but shows that the phenomenon is natural by easing readers into the idea with his specific examples. Most people meeting the concept of reincarnation for the first time either reject it or misunderstand it. For example, you've probably heard people say if they come back, they'd like to be a bird. But Yogananda explains that reincarnation is part of evolutionary progress. Therefore, coming back as a bird would be devolution, or going backward. Humans only come back as animals if they learn a specific lesson in the animal kingdom. Returning to Earth in a body is essential in this yoga philosophy. It works in concert with karma, similar to the biblical concept of sowing and reaping. Yogananda's explanation of these concepts is superb. He helps his readers understand why they are born on this earth, their goals, and how they can achieve them. Most of the time, Yogananda's efforts to transcend mortal concerns involved managing discomfort or unpleasant sensations. For example, he attempted not to complain while enduring long fasts, and he had to learn to meditate without paying attention to the mosquitoes and other bugs biting him. These moments of discomfort helped Yogananda learn to focus on God rather than his own needs. He realized that transcendence isn't about abandoning the regular world. It's about balancing an enlightened mind with attention toward present responsibilities and concerns. Part 4. His learning through spiritual journey. In this part, lessons of his spiritual journey have been told, which is the essential part of this book. Self-realization. The knowing, in body, mind, and soul, that we are one with the omnipresence of God. We do not have to pray that it comes to us. We are not merely near it at all times, but that God's omnipresence is our omnipresence. We are just as much a part of Him now as we ever will be. All we have to do is improve our knowledge, living a life of happiness. Making others happy through the kindness of speech and sincerity of the right advice is a sign of true greatness. But on the other hand, to hurt another soul with sarcastic words, looks, or suggestions is despicable. Be comfortable within your purse, he often said. Extravagance will buy you discomfort. Look fear in the face, and it will cease to trouble you. Forget the past, for it is gone from your domain. Forget the future, for it is beyond your reach. Control the present. Live supremely well now. This is the way of the wise. Ordinary love is selfish, darkly rooted in desires and satisfactions. Divine love is without condition, without boundary, without change. Living in purpose and being purposeful. The more deeply we perceive, the more striking becomes the evidence that a uniform plan links every form in manifold nature. Man's conscious state is an awareness of body and breath. His subconscious state, active in sleep, is associated with his mental and temporary separation from body and breath. His superconscious state is a freedom from the delusion that existence depends on body and breath. Since you alone are responsible for your thoughts, only you can change them. Being in service. Some people try to be tall by cutting off the heads of others. The human mind is a spark of the almighty consciousness of God. I could show you that whatever your powerful reason believes very intensely would instantly come to pass. The deeper the self-realization of a man, the more he influences the whole universe through his subtle spiritual vibrations. There is a magnet in your heart that will attract true friends. That magnet is unselfishness, thinking of others first. When you learn to live for others, they will live for you. Always remember that you belong to no one and no one belongs to you. Reflect that someday you will suddenly have to leave everything in this world, so make the acquaintanceship of God. Remain calm and serene, always in command of yourself. You will then find out how easy it is to get along. The power of thought. You demonstrate success or failure according to your habitual trend of thought. In you, which are the more robust success thoughts or failure thoughts. More than an occasional positive review is required to attract success if your mind is ordinarily negative. But if you think rightly, you will find your goal despite seeming enveloped in darkness. Will is the dynamo. You should have power and continuous activity to succeed along with positive thinking. Every outward manifestation results from the will, but this power is only sometimes used consciously. There is mechanical will as well as conscious will. You can control the destiny Hember. The mind is the creator of everything. You should, therefore, guide it to create only good. If you cling to a particular thought with dynamic willpower, it finally assumes a tangible outward form. When you can employ your will always for constructive purposes, you become the controller of your destiny. But you should always be sure, within the calm region of your inner self, that what you want is right for you to have. You can then use all the force of your will to accomplish your object. Part 5. Fear exhausts life energy. It is one of the greatest enemies of dynamic willpower. Fear causes the life force that ordinarily flows steadily through the nerves to be squeezed out, and the nerves become paralyzed. The whole body's vitality is lowered. Fear doesn't help you escape the object of fear. It only weakens willpower. Fear causes the brain to send an inhibiting message to all bodily organs. It constricts the heart, disturbs digestive functions, and causes many other physical disturbances. When the consciousness is kept on God, you will have no fears. Courage and faith will overcome every obstacle. Failure should arouse determination. Even failures should stimulate your willpower and your material and spiritual growth. Therefore, when you have failed in any project, it is helpful to analyze every factor in the situation to eliminate all chances in the future that you might repeat the same errors. The need for self-analysis. Another secret of progress is self-analysis. Introspection is a mirror through which to see the recesses of your mind that otherwise would remain hidden. Diagnose your failures and sort out your sound and destructive tendencies. Analyze what you are, what you wish to become, and what shortcomings impede you. The creative power of initiative. What is the initiative? It is a creative faculty within you, a spark of the infinite creator. It may give you the power to create something no one else has ever made. It urges you to do things in new ways. By creating something from nothing, he demonstrates that the seemingly impossible may become possible if you understand the power of taking the initiative. See the image of God in all men. Many people excuse their faults but judge other people harshly. Instead, we should reverse this attitude by excusing others' shortcomings and harshly examining our own. Habits of thought control one's life. Success is hastened or delayed by one's habits, not your passing inspirations or brilliant ideas so much as your everyday mental habits control your life. Habits of thought are mental magnets that draw certain things, people, and conditions to you. Good habits of thought enable you to attract benefits and opportunities. Bad habits of thought attract you to materially minded persons and unfavorable environments. Part 6. Power of Divine Will. Divine will has no boundaries. It works through laws known and unknown, natural and seemingly miraculous. It can change the course of destiny, wake the dead, cast mountains into the sea, and create new solar systems. From the ocean of abundance, just as all power lies in his will, all spiritual and material gifts flow from his boundless abundance. To receive his blessings, you must eradicate all thoughts of limitation and poverty from your mind. Universal mind is perfect and knows no lack. You must maintain a consciousness of abundance to reach that never-failing supply. Even when you do not see where the next dollar comes from, you should refuse to be apprehensive. When you do your part and rely on God to do Him, you will find that mysterious forces come to your aid and that your constructive wishes soon materialize. This confidence and consciousness of abundance are attained through meditation. To know more about how spiritual philosophies can help each one of us achieve success, please read the summary of the 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. The link is just down below. The way of meditation. Living in a constant state of business clouds our minds with stress, and we become detached from our higher consciousness. Meditation is like a drain, allowing us to expose our negative emotions so that we can release them. It can be painful, but sitting with negative emotions is the only way to heal, break down our fears, and dismantle the beliefs that have held us back. By the power of concentration and meditation, you can direct the inexhaustible energy of your mind to accomplish what you desire and to guard every door against failure. All successful men and women devote much time to deep concentration. They can dive deeply into their minds and find the proper solutions for their problems. If you learn how to withdraw your attention from all objects of distraction and to place it upon one thing of concentration, you too will know how to attract at will whatever you need. Success is measured by happiness. Consider whether fulfillment of the goal you have chosen will constitute success. What is success? If you possess health and wealth but need help with everybody, yours is not a successful life. When wealth is lost, you have lost a little. When health is lost, you have lost something of more consequence. But when the peace of mind is lost, you have lost the highest treasure. Put God's power behind your efforts. Release for constructive purposes the power you already have, and more will come. Move on your path with steadfast determination, using all success attributes. Tune yourself with the creative power of spirit. You will be in contact with infinite intelligence, which can guide you and solve all problems. Part 7. Energy is a creative force that we can harness. All life is energy. It keeps the planets in motion and us showing up to work on time each day. Energy is the most powerful tool we possess. Everything on the earth constantly expends energy to achieve some goal. When a man does not cultivate a meditation practice, he is subject to the subconscious. A man who has control of his mind realizes his capacity to impact change and harnesses infinite power to shape the reality around him. Meditation allows us to choose joy in all situations and spread love and positivity to everyone around us. Embracing the teachings of Autobiography of a Yogi. Through Autobiography of a Yogi, Paramhansa Yogananda gifts the world with profound insights into the mysteries of life, the potential of human consciousness, and the power of spiritual practice. The book reveals Yogananda's journey of self-realization, his encounters with saints and sages, and the wisdom he gained from his guru, Sri Yukteswar. From his early life in India to his transformative work in America, Yogananda's story shows that spirituality is not confined to specific cultures or beliefs. It is universal and accessible to everyone. Yogananda's teachings on Kriya Yoga, meditation, karma, and self-realization are practical tools that can help anyone on their journey toward inner peace and enlightenment. His message transcends the boundaries of religion and nationality, encouraging us all to look within and connect with the divine that exists in each of us. This universal call for self-awareness, love, and service remains just as relevant today as when it was first shared. The life lessons contained in Autobiography of a Yogi are timeless. Whether you are new to spiritual practice or have been on the path for some time, Yogananda's teachings provide a roadmap for living a life of purpose, happiness, and fulfillment. By embracing these principles, living with kindness, practicing meditation, controlling our thoughts, and recognizing our oneness with the universe, we can begin to transform ourselves and ultimately the world around us. Are you inspired by the teachings of Autobiography of a Yogi? Now is the perfect time to start or deepen your spiritual practice. Begin by incorporating meditation into your daily routine, explore the principles of Kriya Yoga, and look for ways to apply Yogananda's timeless lessons to your life. To continue your spiritual journey, you can read Autobiography of a Yogi in its entirety for more detailed teachings. Explore Yogananda's other works and lectures available through the Self-Realization Fellowship. Practice daily meditation and mindfulness to align your mind, body, and spirit. Share these teachings with others to help spread the message of peace, unity, and self-realization. Remember, The path to self-realization is open to everyone, and the journey begins with a single step. Take that step today and discover the infinite potential within you. Thank you, friends. I hope you like this summary. By following all these habits, you can achieve great heights.